Hello and welcome to ICF Minnesota's Meet the Coach interview segment. My name is Jenn Espinosa-Goswami. I am the communications co-chair for the local Minnesota chapter of ICF. And I can't wait to introduce you to this month's featured coach, Erin Barry. Welcome, Erin.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So excited to learn more about you and the type of coaching that you offer to your clients and the people you work with. But before we get into that, I would love to do a proper introduction of all of the amazingness that you bring to this journey. So let me properly introduce Erin, and then we can jump right into the questions. How does that work?
That's great. Thank you.
So Erin Marie Barry is a transition life coach, motivational speaker, mastermind facilitator, and retreat director with Live Your Truth Journey. Erin has an intense passion to coach, mentor, and guide individuals and their families to grow and live your truth by being who you want to be, doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to experience, and creating the life you want to live. Erin shares various methods to enhance life with happiness and harmonious living, something we could all use a little bit more of, while enjoying deep, rich relationships and having a dramatic, positive impact on the world. In addition, she helps connect you to fulfilling your dreams and desires, experience well-being, goal achievement strategies, developing strong awareness, strong self-image, positive attitude, and living with gratitude. Erin is a graduate of the Institute for Life Coach Training. And in a nutshell, I'd love to jump right into it. Erin, tell us a little bit more. How did you start your coaching journey?
Wow, my coaching journey began, I think it was about 4 years ago, but it was 12 years ago that my speaking journey began. And when I first embarked on the whole entrepreneur track of life, I just all of my life experiences brought me into the speaking and life coaching world because I lived a life of conformity, and through the awareness that I had and became aware of for myself, I got connected to my values and really defined what they were. So I went from a life of conformity to creating a life that I want. And because of my huge transformation and enjoying so much more happiness in my life than what I was when I was conforming, I just knew that I had to share that with others. And that's when I began the speaking as Live Your Truth seminars. And then when I added the coaching, that's when I transitioned to Live Your Truth Journey, because that was more encompassing of everything that I was offering. And so I began coaching so that I could help others and guide others to what I call Live Your Truth, which is, as you mentioned in my introduction, being who you want to be, doing what you want to do, experiencing what you want to do, experience, and creating the life that you want to live.
Awesome. Actually, as a small personal note here, Erin and I met each other during the beginning of our speaking journey. So we shared a similar program. We worked with the same speaking mentor. And like Erin, I also started off with a speaking business before becoming a coach. So I resonate on so many levels, Erin. Of course, we shared a lot of our early speaking journey together. It's interesting that you mentioned that you lived a life of conformity. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about what that meant for you and how it kept you stuck where you were?
Yeah. So, it began with a young age. And, I would conform to family expectations, and that was my immediate family. And then when I was in a relationship, it ended up being expectations of, his family too, and then expectations of society. And it was just, I didn't know enough about what was most important to me. And when I defined my values, because, we can both value family, but your family value and my family value and what they mean to us can be completely different. So we would live that value out differently. And so I did struggle for many years because I knew family was a value of mine. But until I really sat down and defined exactly what that meant to me, then I was able to start creating my life, because I started making choices for my happiness rather than for other people's happiness and for other people's expectations.
Ooh, and I'm suspecting that's one of the reasons why you decided to go into assisting families and not just individuals. I don't see a lot of coaches in our chapter who also support families. Did that have something to do with the work that you do?
Yes, it did. And there's also the history. My grandpa used to own a resort that we would go up to every summer, and we called it Family Week. It was a reunion of all of us. My mom is one of 16 siblings. And so we would get together for a whole week. And on the first weekend, we would have 80 to 100 people gathered in this small little tiny resort, and it always worked. And so that was one of the key factors in my wanting to be able to bring different experiences to people. And I have the vision of bringing like a family week experience to other families where people can come and gather and share food, fun, and laughter in the outdoors.
Yeah, and I noticed on your website, you have a lot of photos of you in the outdoors. So obviously being in nature is foundational to the work that you do, especially as a retreat leader. Tell us a little bit more about your coaching practice and how folks can take that journey with you if they feel like they're stuck in conformity, if they feel like their life is unfulfilling where they are right now. How do they start working with you, and what does that look like in your coaching practice?
Yeah, for my coaching, I offer a couple of different ways to work with me. I do one-to-one coaching for people that want just the one-on-one connection. And then I also do group coaching, which typically ends up being in the mastermind format. And I just really enjoy an open discussion. So we'll discuss celebrations and challenges, and then we'll have a topic, which might be self-confidence, it might be vulnerability, it might be taking risk, and doing a deep dive that way. And then it's more support from everybody and expanding ideas and expanding growth from multiple perspectives and not just yours. And then I do offer retreats occasionally. I'm not offering them on a very consistent basis yet, but that is in my toolbox.
Yeah, and I suspect that one of the reasons that retreats are not being offered is because of the realities of living within a pandemic. So hopefully those are coming. And if you are watching and listening to Erin's story today and you're like, I want to get on her retreat list, then look below this video for how you can connect with Erin and learn more about the retreat she offers. Because I'm sure when we're all ready to get out there back into the world and start communing with each other again, a retreat might be the first thing that pops up in your mind. So definitely check it out underneath this video. One thing I love talking about with other coaches, Erin, is just what really lights us up when it comes to the coaching work we do. Now, you work with individuals, you work with families, you do group, you do retreat and mastermind. Tell me, what do you love most about your coaching work? Like, if you never did anything else but this one thing, what would that be for you?
Wow. You know, it's so hard to answer that because it really, you can't just pinpoint it because you never know when it's going to happen. Because for me, it is those, oh, yes, you know, those aha moments. And even myself, I have them all the time. You know, when I'm working one-on-one with the client, something will trigger. And it's just a reminder, you know, because we have so many different layers to us. We're continually working on becoming better and growing and expanding. So it's those aha moments when people, oh, yes. And so when other people light up, that's what gets me to light up and keep on doing what I do, because that just, I love it.
I could see the change in your face too as you were sharing about that. You just lit up, and you could just see how exciting it is for you. And that's what we see a lot within our coaching community is coaches are in the work they do because they love what they do. But let's talk about the things that we don't always talk about within the coaching profession. What is something about coaching that you perhaps don't like as much as those ahas within your journey with clients?
Hmm. You know, as a coaching business, I have really struggled with how to get out in front of people. And so that's my hardest thing as a coach is how to connect with more people. So, other than that, I don't think there is, it's the outside of the stuff. Maybe it's the paperwork, but there's not that much paperwork that goes with it either. So some of that business work is the stuff that I don't like, but it's all goes together and it's all good.
Yeah, and I appreciate your honesty about that. We just interviewed Deb Enlow last month, and she is also struggling with building her coaching business, being somewhat new to the coaching world, and she is also creating her own business and her own client base. And it is a difficult thing to do. So one of the things that we like to do at ICF Minnesota is provide continuing professional development so that whether you're an internal coach or an external coach, there is a way for you to grow your coaching business and your client base so that you can not have that question of where is my next person coming from or how do I get in front of the potential clients I would like to work with. One of the things I love to talk about with people within ICF Minnesota, which Erin, you are a part of ICF Minnesota, how has it changed or helped you as a coach to grow within this community?
One of the big things, because I did end up joining the ICF Minnesota community while we were in the pandemic. So it kept me connected to other coaches via Zoom. And I do not live near the cities. And so it created an opportunity so that I could join more of the meetings that we do have, whereas otherwise it would be a scheduling challenge for me to do that. So we have the coaching connections, and I really appreciate getting to know other coaches because my work is transition life coaching for the majority. And so when somebody wants more career help or business help or speaking help, I know I've referred somebody to you in the past. And so I like having other coaches that I can be, that's not where I have a good strength. So let me give you to somebody that will be able to give you exactly what you need.
Thank you. And I'm sure, thank you so much. I also received a referral from you, as you mentioned. We appreciate working together because, as you mentioned, while we can coach on anything as coaches, depending on what your certification is, that doesn't mean that we should coach everyone on everything. So I love that you're bringing that out, that you like to partner with other coaches who maybe offer more specialized services than what you're hearing from your potential clients. That is a great way for us to grow. And ICF Minnesota tends to have a lot of different flavors of coaching, which is why I love doing these interviews. So some coaches that I've spoken to previously, they have a particular tool, resource, podcast, methodology, cheat sheet, or something that they really like to lean on when they're working with clients. What are some of your favorite tools when you're working with your clients, Erin?
I do have my own cheat sheet that I created just so that I can make sure that I'm not going to, I guess, miss anything. But really, I just go from, I love books and I'm constantly reading. And so I'll just get ideas and some of those aha moments from the books and activities and good resources to use from those. And a couple of my favorite books for coaching is Falling Awake by Dave Ellis and The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron.
I was so busy writing those down that I just didn't switch the camera. I apologize for that. And I noticed you have quite a few books behind you. So
yes,
clearly you're a reader, and we are also in a book club together. So Erin and I kind of have a lot of similar interests here. But I love that you say, you're constantly learning, you're constantly growing, because that's probably what your clients within transition are experiencing as well. They're going through some changes. And the more we can support our clients with these resources, the more likely that they're going to resonate with what we're putting out there into the world. So thank you for sharing about some of your favorites. And I'll make sure to put those in the show notes below. So if you're like, I want to read a new book, or I want to learn a different way to support my clients, we'll definitely link to those in the show notes here. All right, so here's where you get to share with us, Erin, something that you're super excited about in terms of, do you have any events or programs or a new launch that you're looking to offer to folks coming up in the next year?
Yeah, I currently offer an Empower Your Success Mastermind. And so I do offer that about once every 2 months. So that is under the Work with Erin on my website. I also continually offer a vision board workshop. And so that again is offered about once every month or two as well. And I'm excited because I'm going to start offering in the fall some wisdom soul collage. So that's an exciting creative piece. And that will be an in-person offering that I start in the fall. I don't have all the details for it, but that will be in my events when I'm ready for it to begin.
Lots of exciting things coming up. And Erin, if we want to get on your list so we get notified of the events as you get the details together, what is the best way to do that?
You can get on my list from my website. So that's liveyourtruthjourney.com. And I am also out in the social media world, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So you can connect with me on any of those platforms as well.
Awesome. And I've linked below this video as well. So if you didn't catch her saying it, it's below this video. Make sure you click on your social media of choice or get on her list so you can learn more about vision boards, masterminds, and soul collages. You know, the soul collage is the one that really kind of struck me. What is a soul collage?
So it is, and I call it wisdom bean collage. And the wisdom bean collage is a smaller piece of paper, like 5x7 type of a size. And it kind of represents one piece of your soul or one piece of your being and kind of an archetype. You know, it could be your young child or it could be your sage. And then you can read those cards and pull wisdom from your inner being as to what that card is telling you.
Do you have to be good at art to do this?
Absolutely not.
I know some people are shrinking and they're like, "Oh, that sounds like art." I don't know about that.
No, whenever I've done it, I've just used magazines and pulled images from the magazines and collaged them. And a lot of times it'll just be, 3 or 4 images because it is a smaller card and it's like energy for the images.
Awesome. I love doing collages. That's one of the things I used to geek out on as a kid. And I also love doing vision boards, which I think is very unique to your business that you offer vision boards, not just at the beginning of the year, but consequently through the year, which is a different approach and one I've not heard about before. Is there a reason why you decided to do that?
I enjoy them. That's the only reason. Because I do enjoy the creative process, and it seems like they kind of go hand in hand with the Empower Your Success Mastermind. So I like to be able to give that to the people that I'm working with in that particular mastermind.
Yeah, why shouldn't we do the things we like to do and do them alongside our clients? That sounds like a great idea to me. Awesome. Well, I like to end every interview with, what are 3 things that we may not know about you from your website or your social media, Erin? What are those 3 things for you?
Wow. We touched on so much of it during this. I mean, I love my books. I love being outside. So I love earthing. And earthing is going outside and walking barefoot. So that is something that you probably wouldn't learn on my social media. And I've got 3 kids. And my family is big. I also have 11 brothers and sisters. Those are some things you're not going to know about me.
Awesome. So you like to earth, which is walking barefoot on the earth.
Yes.
And you have a huge family, not just from your parents, but you also come from a huge family. Where do you fall in the family line of children?
For my mom's kids, I am the oldest. And then from everybody, I'm actually right in the middle.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't get middle child vibes from you, but that's interesting. Okay.
I don't think you would, because growing up, it was basically the 6 rather than the 11. So I would have been the oldest always growing up.
I see. I see. Very cool. Well, we are just about the end of today's interview. Before I close with how people can connect with ICF Minnesota, is there one thing you would like to leave us with in terms of live your truth journey or the way in which you work with your clients?
Well, I love to be open to awareness. And so I love helping my clients open to awareness so that they can then connect to their inner wisdom. And when you're connected to your inner wisdom, it's a lot easier to create the life of your dreams and desires and live a fulfilling life journey.
Well said, Erin. Thank you for sharing that little bit of wisdom to close up this month's Meet the Coach interview. If you're watching this video and you just had a blast in learning more about Erin and the work she does, please give us a like. Make sure you comment below what was your favorite part of this month's interview. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because you get notified as soon as we post our new content every month. These videos come out every month. And if you have not yet attended one of our events, we are going back to in-person events. It starts in May, so this month, but we're also going to be offering our virtual events as well. So even if you live in greater Minnesota, which Erin shared she does, if you don't live directly within the Twin Cities, it's okay. You don't have to figure out how to navigate to the in-person event. We will continue to offer virtual sessions, including lunchtime sessions and our coaching connections, which happen every quarter. And our programming group is working hard to make sure that we have more diversity, equity, and inclusion included within our programming. So if that's something of interest to you, make sure you reach out to us, sign up for our next event, and let us know what you'd like to see from our programming here at ICF Minnesota. In the meanwhile, thank you so much for watching. My name is Jenn Espinosa-Goswami. I'm the communications coach here. If you'd like to be featured as a member of ICF Minnesota, that is a benefit of being a member. You can do one of these video interviews, or you can do it written in our monthly catalyst that goes out every month. And all you have to do is be a member, and I'm happy to interview you. So see below the video for how you can connect with me and be our next featured coach interview. In the meanwhile, thank you so much for watching us. We'll see you next month. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you, Jen.